The third piece of our Volvo Franken drive has come in. Seems like it's in pretty good shape. It's got some bangs, got some scratches. Skeg's been filed off a little bit. But our intention is to fill all the water pickups, and then we're going to go ahead and close all this up and French it in like we did this one over here. I'd love to take everything out of this one and put it in that one, but that's not an option. We also have a couple holes to fill in the skegs. I guess they used a dolphin fin or something. What I tend to do is use my bit here and just widen out the tops, like in this drawing. Widen out the top and the bottom here. That way when I fill it with JB Weld, it'll actually be wedged in place and it won't be able to go anywhere. Lots of work. End of day one. We got our holes filled, which turned out great. We filled our grating, and what we did is we let the JB Weld sag in when it was still a little runny, so it got in behind the grates. Some of it even dripped to the other side. And then we just filled it 3 or 4 times. That way you get a lot of JB Weld in behind the grating itself, so it's actually being held from the inside also. And some of it dripped over to the other side, which now there's actual lattice almost between the two sides. Then we filled the whole cavity of this stuff here. This is a 2-part expansion foam, 8-pound. They use it for making construction signs and stuff. You're not going to hurt that. So when we did our shaving, which we took a lot of the case here and shaved it off, made it more pointy, made it more flow a little better, kind of took off a little bit of the trailing edges here also, and fixed our skeg entirely. When we did all that, the foam being inside and being that hard reinforced the inside of this whole front nose structure. So honestly, I think I could take it all off and it would be fine. And last but not least, we painted everything. A couple coats of primer, a couple coats of gloss. That way we'll see the telegraphing of the grating. I mean, that's only JB Weld there, so there will be a little sanding and retouching up, and worst case we'll pull out the Bondo. We will have more to do tomorrow. Day 2, we have our bottom section almost ready to go. We flushed it out last night with some motor flush, which basically is user-friendly diesel fuel, and filled up partially, about a quart's worth, and sloshed it around, moved the gears around, all that good stuff, and then proceeded to dump it out of the top and then leave it upside down all night long so it'll drain. And then we took what came out of the drive and put it through a coffee filter to see if there was anything there, and nope, nice and clean inside. I went ahead and put my pump on already, so there's no reason to take a plug out or anything like that and have that mess. And filled it up and got the air out of that system, and then went ahead and dumped in a quart of Lucas oil stabilizer. That's a little thick to try to get through that pump, so I just dumped it right down the hole, and then went and filled it up with another 2.5 quarts of Rotella tea, which is that old school kind of sulfury oil, which is good for this kind of old school stuff. One thing I have noticed is this vertical shaft is about an 1/8 inch thinner than that one. That was one of the reasons why I was very infatuated with this drive, and there may be a future in it yet. I'm just still looking. So we have it ready to go, and on life support we're going to go ahead and put the midsection on. Midsection's on. Just had to take off a little burr, didn't want any aluminum to get inside the out drive. It's time to put on the top. With the top installed, the Volvo 270 Franken drive lives again.